if I poured you a drink, would you sit down and talk with me? Lend me your ear and I'll bring you along. We can split the day rate 50-50. Oh, baby, I get by. Oh, and all I need is somebody, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get high. Oh, 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 oh. Baby, I need somebody. Oh, all I need is somebody. Oh, I'm gonna get high.
Welcome to the PRO EDU podcast. We talk and drink with your favorite artists. So grab yourself a cold sarsaparilla, take your pants off, kick back, and enjoy. I don't know about you, I take comfort in that.
All right. In this episode, I am joined with Lynne Williams, a Welsh-based photographer and the queen of bokeh. If you guys haven't seen her work, I don't know how you're creating this bokeh, but I can't wait to get into the magic behind it. Lynne, welcome to the PRO EDU podcast.
Thank you very much, and thanks so much for inviting me on.
So you must have a favorite f-stop.
Yeah, there's only one, F2.
F2, all right. So what is the lens that is creating this amazing bokeh in your portrait photography?
It's the Canon 135mm F2.
Oh, I would say that is my top 3 favorite lenses of all time. It's so incredible.
Oh, it's just amazing. I don't use anything else now.
Oh, I think in a lot of your photos, they do have a very similar look and feel. So I wondered if that was the lens or if that is like a choice of styling. I mean, your subjects are a lot of kids. So would you call yourself like a kid portrait photographer, or is it kind of everyone?
Yes, I'm mostly children. Yes. I have sort of started delving into dogs as well because, well, they're easy.
And why not?
Yeah. And I have a dog myself. So we do a lot of walks and we take a lot of photos. So I've started taking some clients now as well with pets. And people spend loads on their pets, so why not?
I know, it's pets and children. That's what you spend your money on.
Yeah.
That's about it. So I love hearing people's backstories of how they became an artist. So as far back as you can remember, how did you get to where you are today? Like, what is the story of you becoming an awesome photographer?
Right. Well, I've always wanted to take photos of my children. I have albums and albums and albums. My eldest now is 22, so we were still in film days back then. I never had any decent camera. It was just one of those things you buy in the electrical store, like chemist. But I just loved and loved and loved to take photos and have prints. I always wanted an SLR. I mean, this is how far back we're talking, back in the film days, but budget never allowed for that kind of thing. So I just put it to bed. And when I got married for the second time, sorry, that sounds terrible, then my wedding photographer, his name is Russell Bradley, he's an absolutely awesome photographer. And when I saw my wedding album, I was just in awe. I'd never seen photography like it. And I was like, I really want to do that. So my lovely husband bought me a camera. He bought me a Canon 600D. And I was so excited with it. I bought a couple of lenses. I bought a macro lens and a wide angle lens. And I did everything. And I was awful. I was really the worst. But I loved it. I was so enjoying it. And then I had my youngest child, and I sort of put the camera away for a little bit because I was like, oh, I haven't got time for this. And what have you. But I was still interested in photography, and I still liked looking at other photographers. And then I found Elena Shumilova, and I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. So I persuaded my husband that my camera wasn't good enough. And I said, I need to upgrade. I can't do photos like this with an entry level camera. I need a new one. So he bought me the 5D Mark III, which was brand new at the time, top of the range, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to make fabulous photos. And I got it out of the box and I was like, oh, hang on. I don't know how to work this. It doesn't have a portrait button or a landscape button. What do I do? So I joined a camera club and they kind of took me under their wing and they said, okay, this is how you work it and blah, blah, blah. And then I think I spent the next 2 years glued to YouTube, anything, any blogs. And I researched and I studied composition, settings, everything to do with photography. I just had my head in that for about 2 years non-stop. I don't think I turned the TV on, that kind of thing. I was obsessed with it until I got to a place where I thought, okay, yeah, I can see where I'm heading and what I wanted to produce,
Yeah.
But it's still a journey. We're all always on a journey, aren't we, with photography? There's always new things. There's always new products.
Yes, there's always new products. I want to back up to what you said about Camera Club. I love Camera Clubs. I love clubs. I love being part of organizations. And if you're lucky enough to have one in your city or wherever you're at, join one. But I wanted to ask, are you still part of this Camera Club? And could you describe like how you guys met, where, how often, that sort of thing?
It was a weekly meetup, mostly retired people because we met in the daytime. And they were a fantastic bunch of people. They really were, because I rocked up and I didn't really know what I was doing, and they helped me tons, and they were just great fun. And we'd go out and we'd go to different places and try all different things. We tried different genres as well. We'd have somebody in to do a portrait session with us, some macro. And it was just a broad range of stuff. And, we'd go for a coffee and perhaps some lunch. And they're just a great community. So, yeah, if there's anyone out there who has a camera club nearby, go join them.
Yeah, I wonder if those are things that are kind of dying off with the advent of online, because you don't see as much of it as, like 10 or 15 years ago. But I hope they're not.
There's still a few around where I am, yeah. And the camera club that I went to is still going.
I think when I retire, I'm going to join 7 clubs and just every single day, completely different club, completely different thing. And that's just how I'm going to spend retirement. I don't know. That sounds great to me.
Yeah, I would too.
All right. So back to your work. I love your work, and we're going to get to your Instagram in a second, but how did you come up with your style? Like when I see your photos and like scrolling down your feed, you have such a command of your own style, and I'm sure your clients are just absolutely in love with the photos that they get. But how did it come about?
I wanted to create photos that had very much a vintage feel to them. I don't like modern architecture. I like old things. So I wanted my pictures to look like they were maybe 100 years ago. So that goes with my styling as well. I tried to go quite old-fashioned, Victorian, maybe Edwardian sometimes, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's vintage. Vintage is at the fore, I think, of my style. And I like nature.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's almost like you create these worlds of like, I want to say like a Shire in The Hobbit or something. And I'm sure there's no shortage of Welsh country, land to roam around. But do you mostly shoot outdoors? Do you do any indoor portraits? Or is it just you have the best landscape ever and you just head out?
Well, I have a studio, so I do actually do a lot of indoor stuff. I tend not to put that on Instagram. Instagram is more like my own personal story, but that I create what I love. Whereas I have a Facebook page where I post my studio stuff. Sorry, that was my cat sneezing. Yes, and I tend to get clients mostly from Facebook because they come for studio work. And like I said earlier, we do Christmas minis and all the stuff that goes with it. But yeah, the stuff that's on my Instagram is what I love to do. And yes, I get clients who like that kind of thing, but not always. And I like to tell a story within a picture as well. And there are elements of client work where they don't necessarily want that. They do want the looking at the camera and smiling, because that's what they treasure and what they want to keep, and that's fine. I have them as well, because it's mostly my son that's on Instagram. But I have photos that I take of him where he's looking and smiling, and classic portrait. So yeah, I forgot what the original question was now.
Me too, and it's okay, because it's just a good conversation. That's funny. You brought up looking in the camera and smiling. We just did this tutorial with Jason Buff, and in the middle of the tutorial, I don't know if it was me or someone on the team was like, "How come no one is ever smiling in your photos?" And he goes, something along the lines of, "Because life is rough." Yeah. Like that was like one of the things that if you look at his portfolio, there is looking in the camera, but there's no smiling. I mean, it is a very specific look that he's intentionally brought through his, entire catalog of work. So it's very similar with yours. It's very, picturesque, storybook, and the style is just incredible.
Yeah.
So in terms of getting clients, you kind of mentioned, Facebook, probably word of mouth, but are you doing any strategic advertising, or is, your work speaking for itself and that's how you're getting clients?
I would say marketing is my Achilles heel. Basically, I don't do any. I just put it on Facebook. I run the occasional advert if I've got like Christmas minis. I'll run a Facebook ad, but other than that, no, I don't do any marketing. Hide my shame.
No, I mean, if you can get away with not doing marketing, you're doing something right, and I think that means you're doing a lot right, actually. So it's great that you're not doing any marketing, because the work speaks, for itself. You've mentioned it a few times. What exactly are Christmas minis?
Oh, right. Okay. This are the mini studio sessions where we have a Christmas setup. We have like a little snowy scene, and then we have a classic scene. And yeah, so they're just 30-minute sessions, and client comes in, they get 4 photos, and they're generally looking at the camera, smiling, blah, blah, blah. So
nice.
they're just a quick money turner, really, and if you have a studio, you'd be dull not to do it, because you get a lot of people who want that this time of year.
Have you ever hired a Santa Claus to come in and
do you know what? I was going to do that this year. My friend that I mentioned earlier, Russell Bradley, he has this huge natural beard. And we were going to do it this year, but then, life happens and one thing or another. So maybe next year.
Hey, if you get him next year, I'd like to come sit on his lap. Do a Christmas thing. I love it. Well, I'd love to get into your Instagram and talk about some of your shots and your look, and finally unveil what we've been talking about. Do a quick, there we go. All right, can you see the screen?
Yep.
All right, sweet. So I've been starting with everyone's first image. Here looks like a few images. So is this your most recent shoot?
Yes. Yes, that was about a week ago. Yeah, that I took that. That's my son, my youngest.
Oh, nice. So not looking in the camera. I love the outfit.
Yeah, I try to buy anything that's as vintage as possible from as a wider range of places as possible. eBay's a good one. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like this is like a movie. And is this all natural light?
That's all natural light. I only ever use flash in the studio. I don't use it outside.
It's amazing.
I like backlight as well. You'll probably notice that in all my photos. I
Okay.
go
All right,
for a
so
lot of backlight.
finally looking in the camera at the very end, backlight. And I'm guessing this is your dog as well.
This is my dog, yeah.
Oh, is he a good boy?
She's a girl. Everybody
Oh,
thinks she's a boy. She's quite masculine looking. She's a big dog. She's a lovely dog. I've had her since she was 5 months old. She's got scars down her leg because she was run over when she was a pup. So she was like left behind in the litter. Nobody wanted her. So it was a friend of mine said, "Oh, do you want this dog?" And I was like, no, it's too big. I don't want it. He's like, "Oh, take it on for a week and see what you think." That was 2 years ago.
oh, well,
So,
good for you. I love that.
yeah, so she's really well trained. I've trained her to pose. And
This is just like a ton of treats.
Yeah.
All right. So getting into a little bit of the editing, I'm noticing, and I love that you have before and afters. So, I mean, your color is incredible. Do you create your own presets? Do you have your own color actions?
No, I edit each one by hand from scratch. Yeah, so I do, as you can see, I do quite a bit of color grading.
Yeah, I love it. Where did you learn how to color grade?
YouTube.
Nice.
I learned everything from just researching. One of my favorites was Unmesh, Dinda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that was back in his early days as well, when he first started. Loved watching him. Yeah, a lot of good tips.
Yeah, his ability to make everything seem so simple is uncanny. So it looks like, too, that you kind of create almost a ray of like a source of light. I've noticed that in a few other ones as well.
Yeah, I do like to do that. Yeah. It's sometimes there's natural backlight. I try and get that as much as possible, but I live in Wales and it rains a lot here, so sometimes I have to fake it a little bit.
Nice.
That was a faking day. It was a bit cloudy. So
yeah. I bet. I guess it's always cloudy there, huh? Is it anything like London where it's just always raining?
Always worse than London. It rains a lot, but on the upside of that, this is the landscape that we get. It's green, it's lush, it's beautiful, but we have to put up with the rain to have this kind of terrain that we have.
Yeah, I bet. All right, so who's this? This client, shoot, friend?
Well, this little girl started off as a client, but she's so lovely and she gets on so well with my son that I use her for model shoots as well. So, yeah.
Sweet. So how do you use model shoots to your advantage? Are you just for the portfolio?
I use them for my portfolio. I've used them I did an associate qualification with the Royal Photographic Society in London. So I had models in so that I could create a panel for that. And if I'm putting out anything on Facebook that I want to attract customers to, that I usually use a model, yeah.
Nice.
And I use them for tutorials as well. I do Skype sessions, teaching sessions, so I tend to use material that I've had models in for that as well.
Nice. I'm pretty sure the Royal Photographic Society is very similar to our version of the PPA. Yeah. But can you talk more about that organization and kind of what they do?
They're probably the oldest photographic society in Britain. They've been going a long, long time. I believe the Princess of Wales is the patron of that. And how long have I been in there? About 2 years I joined them. And they're just good resource, really. There's a lot of information to hand. There's qualifications that you can do with them. And yeah, they're good to have.
Yep.
This one is a client, actually.
Cute dog.
Yeah.
This is your son again, looks like?
Yeah, this is my son, yeah.
All right, so the styling for this, are you picking out all the wardrobe, or do you use hair and makeup, or are you pretty much doing all of it?
No, I pick out the wardrobe. I scroll through, eBay and online sources, and if there's something I like a look of, I'll get it. And I have a whole room in my studio full of dresses and accessories. I also look around charity shops as well, that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Oh, I mean, this is so pretty much all of these 135 millimeter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
have you switched to the mirrorless? What camera do you use?
Oh yeah, I have the R6 now.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice camera.
So,
Took me a while to get used to not doing this,
so what was the biggest difference that you noticed when you switched to mirrorless?
I was not using I was using the screen. It took me a long time, and when I had the 5D, I used to use back button focus and then recompose.
Yeah.
Of course, with the mirrorless, it's auto eye focus, and you're looking at a screen as well. So that took me a while to get used to, but yeah, I love it now.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so storybook. So how did you know how to come up with pricing for your client work?
Well, I don't know. I think I just guess. There's always that element. I don't know how other photographers feel, but I still sometimes feel, how am I worth that much? Do we all question ourselves?
Oh yeah.
And then there's other people who tell me, you're not charging enough. But I don't live in an affluent area either, so I kind of have to look around and see what others are charging, and so I might pitch it around where I think is a reasonable amount for my skill.
That's how you know you're a photographer. You question yourself a lot.
Oh yeah, a lot.
That's requirement number one.
Yeah.
I mean, this doesn't even look real. Have people started saying that your work is AI? You getting those comments yet? Like it's not real?
No, I haven't. But yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, the lines are blurred now, aren't they?
Yeah. Have you messed around or done anything to kind of create environments around your subjects?
I have. I had Midjourney when it first came out, just to play around with, and I thought, well, this is interesting. This one here, the one in the middle, that's the studio.
Yeah, okay,
Studio
cool.
shoot.
Oh, this frame is incredible.
Yeah, that background is made in Midjourney.
Oh, I love it. So just the entire thing, or just this actual canvas?
All of it.
All of it?
Yeah, all of it, yeah. The model I shot on a plain grey paper background.
Yeah.
And then I just photoshopped the Midjourney background that I created in.
That's unreal. I would never have guessed. I mean, I would have guessed, if anything, that the image maybe on the canvas was, but I mean, everything else fits just so perfectly.
Yeah, it's I don't find compositing that easy, so it took me a while to get that and to make it look like it was natural. So at the moment, I'm not offering that to clients because I don't think I could make any money at it, because I don't think I could turn it around fast enough. But it's fun to do,
Yeah.
And this was a client, and she loved her shoot, and, she had all her images. And then I asked her afterwards, okay if I play around with one? So when I sent her that, she was absolutely over the moon with it.
Yeah, I would, maybe for next year, it could be like me and Santa sitting in the studio, and then you can create this entire like North Pole background behind us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we can do that.
That sounds right up my alley. All right, so how many of these shoots do you do per week? Are you doing this every day? Only a few times a week?
I would say at least 3 or 4 times a week. Probably a bit less in the winter because we've got, the days are short. So there's less outside stuff in the winter.
Oh, look at this, though. You turn them into an adventurer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an adventure that day. It was, we don't get a lot of snow. So when we do, we get excited and like all the schools close. If it's just a little bit of snow, the schools close. So we had a snow day and we went out.
I love that. These studio portraits are amazing. I love people with freckles.
Oh, so do I.
Was this a client?
Yes, this is a client. Yeah. Yeah.
Are these like senior high school photos or just for fun?
Yeah, just for fun. Yeah.
I think I have like 4 photos of me when I was a kid, and I'm really regretting not having cooler parents like you, because I would love to have these photos of myself as a kid.
I don't have many photos either when I was a kid, and there were 4 of us as well, so I think it got spread out quite a bit. So I tried to make up for it with my own kids. They have a lot of photos.
Yeah. All right. So this background, real or mid?
Yeah, that's another mid-journey background.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
So these books are real.
Oh yeah, the books are real, and and the little table that they're on. So yeah, it's literally just the background. Yeah, the possibilities are endless with that. I haven't done so much with the Photoshop beta. I'm still sort of finding my way around that.
Yeah, I think we all are. I mean, it started as a dumpster fire. It still kind of is. It's hit or miss, but it's exciting that probably a year from now, I'm probably going to be out of business a year from now. But I do love it. So did this client specify they wanted like a background, or did you kind of surprise?
No, this is I think this one was shot. I have an old, it's really old actually. I bought it from a studio that was closing down. A really old canvas, hand-painted canvas backdrop, fine art one. And that was shot on there. And again, I gave her the images and then I just had to play around and then I sent it to her after. I don't charge for these. These are just like an extra.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's my background.
I love it. Yeah. Very traditional. Amazing. So where do you think your inspiration comes from for a lot of these shots?
Storybooks originally. That's why it says on my Instagram, I think, creating storybook pictures in the Welsh Hills. I think I've got that on there. When my children were little, I read to them quite a lot, and I was always enamored with the illustrations, probably more than the story. So yeah, it's storybook pictures. That's my inspiration. Specifically Winnie the Pooh in the early days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the tunes that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
A lot of Looney Tunes, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. All right, I'm going to stop there. All right, so what does the next year look like for you? Like, how far out are you booked? What do you have planned next? And like, what would your dream shoot be?
A dream shoot. I would really, really love to photograph the royal family children, specifically William and Kate's children, but that's never going to happen.
Well, why not?
Well, she's a keen photographer herself. She's the patron of the Royal Photographic Society, so she's a keen photographer herself. But yeah, that would be my dream. But there we go. We all have unrealistic dreams, I suppose.
But does her work look anything like yours?
No. She's
there
good.
You go.
She's good, but it's not my style. No.
I think we should start asking everyone that follows you and me, tag everyone or tag you in her photos.
Yeah, please do. Princess
of
Wales, Kate Catherine, Princess of Wales, tag me.
We're gonna make that happen.
Yeah. As for anything else the next year, I'm booked. I'm booked solid now for Christmas. I've got a couple in January, and then after that, we tend to just wing it as they come in. Yeah.
Do you ever take time off, or are you just working kind of seasonality?
Yeah, I do take time off. We have a little place in West Wales, and I go most weekends. I still take my camera most weekends, photograph my son or the dog. But yeah, I switch off from client stuff when I go
Nice.
away. Yeah.
Do you find it hard to switch off being an artist or switch off being a photographer when you maybe go on family vacations? Or are you
Yeah.
24/7 photographer?
I am a photographer, 24/7. Everything. Even my youngest, he's 10 now. He'll go, look at that sky, man. Because once you see things in nature, when you see colors or natural framing, you can't unsee it. And wherever I go, oh, that's a good place for a shoot. And even my son sees it now.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Same thing with like movies with me. Sometimes I'll be watching a movie. I'm not even paying attention to the dialogue. I'm like looking at how it was lit. I'm looking at all the prop styling, and then like 30 minutes in, I don't know any characters' names. I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, I've been looking at the lighting this whole time. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I think once you have that trained eye, you can't unsee it. It's there. Yeah.
Do you think your style will ever change? Are you like flirting with the idea of doing something different, or are you sticking with what you know?
There are occasions when I get a bit bored with it, and then I try something new, and then it ends up looking the same anyway. I don't know, it just kind of happens. I try perhaps a new color palette, or I'll try different type of styling. But yeah, it seems forced. I never post those pictures, by the way, because I know it's not me, and I don't like it myself either. And it never turns out to be what I thought I could create to start with. So I just think, well, you are what you are, I suppose. Once your style flows and you found it, then that's you. So
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. We asked this question basically to everyone kind of towards the end, and it's, what advice do you have for people that might be searching to create their own style, and like, how do they get there?
well, I think sometimes it will eventually come naturally. I think you should ask yourself in the beginning, what is it you love? What is it you want to create? What's the overall feel that makes you happy? And if you can go and try and find a way to create that, then your style will come through that. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
Like I said, my early inspiration was Elena Shumilova. I loved her work, love it. I don't think I'm anything like her, and I don't want to be. I want to be myself, obviously. And it's okay to look at other photographers and say, "Oh, I love their work," and I'd like to create something like that, but put your own spin on it, you know. So yeah.
So when's the book coming out? You have all the tools you need to create probably an amazing novel. Have you thought about writing your own storybook?
Oh, well, maybe I could do that sometime.
All right, the characters are Gary and Santa Claus.
Yeah.
We're going on a Welsh adventure.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. So, seeing as you're so obsessed with Santa, what have you asked him for this Christmas?
I mean, a lot, but I know that I'm not going to get it because I'm on that list, and
That
I don't really
list.
want to talk about it. Yes, the list. Yes, that list. What about you? What have you asked for Santa Claus?
Oh, do you know what? I haven't asked for anything yet.
Not even the new, what is it, the 24 to 105 f2 or 2.8? Have you seen the new lens from Canon that I didn't think was possible?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it would ever surpass my love for the 135, but
Yeah.
I did consider it briefly for dog photography, because then I don't have to go so far back. So
Yeah.
maybe I need to get myself on the right list.
Do you think there's ever going to be a 24 to 135 f2? I mean, what do you think is stopping them from creating that? Just like it being 300 pounds? I don't know. They should make it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any zoom lenses. I only go for primes. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, why not? There's a 70 to 200, so why not?
So are you teaching any workshops, or do you mentioned Skype earlier. How do people get a hold of you to learn from you, if that's something you do?
Well, Instagram mainly. I get inbox messages from Instagram. They ask about, there's links there to my website. So all the details are on there for workshops, Skype, some tutorials. It's all on my website.
Awesome. Well, I love the fact that you teach. I love the fact that you're giving back to the community and kind of sharing what you know. It's such a great part of this community to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I went about my learning the really hard way and the long way. And I never invested in any training or anything, and that's okay. I don't regret that. But when I teach, I show everything. I don't hide anything at all. I'll show you exactly what I do and how I do it. Yeah.
I love that. Well, it's been awesome chatting and talking with you. I thank you so much for coming on the show, and looking forward to next Christmas with Santa Claus and our Christmas mini. It's going to take at least 2 days. So let's start collecting the wardrobe now.
Absolutely.
Vintage Santa gear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, get yourself on the right list.
Absolutely. So where can everyone go to check out your website and your Instagram account?
So my Instagram is Lynne Williams. Just Lynne. Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Lynne Williams _photography. And my website is lynnewilliams.com, photography.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Wish you the best this year, and I hope you stay warm this winter.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
This podcast is officially over. See you next time. Catch you a little later on down the trail, dude. Thanks for listening. I get out of here and start shooting.
I can remember very distinctly one of the very first classes. You had to take one roll of film and tell a story. And you got 4x6 prints made of them and you put them on the wall. I remember watching some of the people's images go up on the board and being like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? These people are so talented.
I was a DJ. I worked a lot at night. Sort of felt that itch to do something else. And after some soul searching, the only thing that I was excited about doing was taking pictures.
And I would Photoshop myself into other places. And a lot of times it never even went online. I didn't care because it wasn't for necessarily the world. It was because I wished I was anywhere other than where I was.
I suppose academically I failed everything, so I was left with very few choices.
I was cater waitering. I'd work till 11, 12 o'clock at night, retouch until 3 or 4 in the morning. Even though I didn't really have the talent, I'd be willing to work when other people would sleep.
And at times I look at my work and I think, damn, I'm a shitty photographer. Fuck, it's nothing.
You have this idea of what can be done because you're assisting, and you just can't create it.
So often today's artists, I think we get ideas and we end up sitting on them and we don't follow through. I think we can be our worst enemies.
I will talk myself out of a project before I even begin it because I think about all the things that might go wrong or could go wrong.
When you first start out with doing anything, you've got like 5 people, one of those is your mum following you, and it's just like difficult to get accurate feedback.
You have to be willing to be rejected by the artwork, by yourself, by your peers.
We get worried what our peers are going to think. We get worried what the talent is going to think or what the celebrity is going to think.
And for me, it was always like, I understand that, but I also understand that you have to be passionate enough to throw the excuses aside and just start the process.
First struggling, then assisting full-time for 3 years, then struggling some more, then retouching, freelancing, getting my first job.
But I'll lay in bed and something will just pop in my head and I just go, what if? Wouldn't it be interesting if?
Try it. It didn't work, throw it out. Try it, it didn't work, throw it out. Try it, it works, it doesn't work, throw it out.
You know, you don't become a great photographer, you don't become a great painter, you don't become a great sculptor without having some downfalls and going in the wrong direction.
I allow myself to fail because I like to fail, because I like to grow. But you have to decide that you want it, because it's not easy to be great at anything.
Even though I'm not at the place I want to be, I'm still moving forward.
Nobody's going to love everything that we do. But I think you have to take a chance.